And Jimmy V Week continues tonight in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Our hearts are with all of you fighting the disease and those of you supporting those fighting the disease. As we welcome you inside Coleman Coliseum in continuation of our ACC-SEC Men's Basketball Challenge, a highly anticipated contest tonight between a top 15 Alabama Crimson Tide team taking on the Clemson Tigers. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher alongside the former All-SEC big man Richard Hendricks. And last year, this challenge was dominated by the SEC 14-2. This year, Richard, ACC off to a much better start.
Well, the ACC has gotten out of the gate very well. It's a really good basketball being played, but Alabama's going to have to see if they can protect home court against a really balanced Clemson Tiger team.
They sure are balanced, coming off a Charleston Classic victory, despite the fact that they are basically a brand new roster.
Well, they've been able to develop some chemistry really quickly. Brad Brownell has his team playing high-level basketball. They share the ball tremendously well and play with a lot of balance.
On the other side, it's an Alabama Crimson Tide team that has already battle-tested 2 top 10 wins through the first 4 weeks of the season.
Well, I think one of Nate Oates' biggest attributes is his confidence, and he's not afraid to play anyone, anywhere. And here they are with another big-time showdown against a really strong Clemson team.
His confidence and his competitiveness decided last year when he was at a Knicks playoff game that, you know what, I want to play at the Garden. So he did, and he took on Rick Pitino's St. John's Red Storm, got a victory in that matchup.
Well, that was a really big win for Alabama early on in the season, and it really put the rest of the country on notice that this backcourt is legit. They've also played some top teams that showed that they have to bolster up their interior play. This is a balanced team, as I continue to say, for Clemson with the inside-outside attack.
Meanwhile, Brad Brownell's team has a golden opportunity on the road, a quad one opportunity for a Clemson team that is coming off its winningest 3-year stretch in program history. Don Daly, Jeb Hartness, Byron Jarrett from a fiery Coleman Coliseum tonight. And here we go. Clemson controls the tip in the road white, and the Tide in the crimson. Inside to R.J. Godfrey, well known in these parts, played last year at Georgia, and he puts Clemson on the board.
And that's a little glimpse of the tone that will be set by Clemson. This is a team that relies on their interior play. Godfrey getting it started with a beautiful post move.
Amari Allen attacking the basket, and boy, has the freshman looked good in recent weeks.
Well, he set that up with a beautiful pump fake, got a defender up in the air, and was able to get all the way to the cup.
Well, Alabama tonight is playing without their starting 2-guard, Aiden Holloway, who re-aggravated a wrist injury earlier this week in practice. That's why Amari Allen makes his first collegiate start tonight for the Tide.
Well, this coaching staff at Alabama speaks highly of Amari Allen. He said he's a confident freshman who's not afraid to compete on both ends of the court.
Phylon drills a 3. A good start for the 3rd leading scorer in the SEC.
Well, Baron Phylon out to a tremendous start in his sophomore campaign, shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. He's a player that can fill it up in bunches.
There's Jake Wallin, one of a number of newcomers sent back by Sherrell. Dylan Hunter runs the point, the lone returner who saw any court action last year. Welling off the mark, rebound, Bo Bowen.
2 huge contests by Aiden Sherrell in the low post. That'll be critical for Alabama moving forward.
Phylon kissing it off the window.
There you see a little glimpse of his crafty ability. He's able to keep the defender on his hip and change his pace, finding his way all the way to the basket.
Only player in the SEC right now in the top 3 in scoring and assists. LeBaron Phylon has been a star to start the year. And Hunter draws a foul. They will count the basket. And Nate Oates cannot believe it. But Jeb Hartness was all over it. And it'll be an and one opportunity for Dylan Hunter.
Well, a really savvy decision by Dylan Hunter as he takes on the contact and continues to play through it. As Nate Oates doesn't agree with the continuation call, Dylan Hunter going to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
New continuous motion rule in college basketball. That pretty much sums it up. And Hunter does complete the three-point play. It's an Alabama team that returns home after a three-game swing at the tournament in Vegas, Players Era Festival. 2 double-digit wins after a loss to a top 15 Gonzaga team in which Nate Oates said they learned a lot about themselves. Bo Bowen wins it back, less than 10 to shoot. Philon left open for 3.
Baron Philon filling it early on, and the scramble after the near turnover results in a wide open Philon for the corner trade.
Already 8 quick points for Philon tonight. Try to go backdoor to Houston Millette. Clemson with 2 big wins against West Virginia and Georgia, both by 1 possession to win the Charleston Classic. Godfrey sent back by Sherrill. Second block already tonight for the Alabama big man.
Sherrill's been a huge presence down low defensively.
Bo Bowen from downtown. Red hot start for Alabama. 3 for 3 from distance.
Nate Oates couldn't have scripted it any better for his Alabama team, as Clemson, as you'll see, will continue to work this ball around in the half-court set, trying to get to their high-low. Their strength is to get it down in the interior.
Speaking of, Godfrey spins and knocks down that baby hook.
Tremendous level of patience by the Tigers on the last possession. But it's going to be important for Clemson to put together a string of stops defensively as Alabama's on tear.
Speaking of, good for Amari Allen.
And the patience for Alabama on the flip side as Bo Bowen turned up a good shot for a better one for his teammate.
All Alabama to start. Shooting 85%, Richard, from the floor.
Well, Alabama's been hot. They've come right out of the gate, locked and loaded, and when they get their feet set, you can count it for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
V-Week continues at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. If you're able, give now at v.org/donate. 100% of your donations go directly to cancer research. Matt Schumacher, the former Alabama star, Richard Hendricks with you. And Richard, what a start for Alabama. They have missed just once from the floor, and they've hit 4 threes to start the game.
And assisted with 4 assists early on. It's the ball movement that had created the open looks.
They've gotten some good defense as well. A couple blocks from Sherrell. That's a steal.
Alabama will try to move the ball from side to side. You know, we spoke with Nate Oates early on, and he spoke his team shoots so much better when they get better ball movement. Seems to be an emphasis so far.
Almost a wholesale change for Brad Brownell. Inside to R.J. Godfrey. Kick out. Foster no good from downtown. Third opportunity here. But a Johnson no good, and a tap out back to Foster.
Outstanding effort by Clemson on the offensive boards to give another crack at it as they set something up.
Noah Williamson stepping out 30 feet from the basket. 5 to shoot. Foster. There's a lid on the basket on this end for Clemson. 4 misses on this trip down the floor.
Well, the most thing is important is that if you get the point on the possession, you've had 4 attempts and missed them, but the activity on the offensive glass gives them another chance here on the baseline out of bounds.
It's an area that Brad Brownell felt like they could have an advantage tonight. It's the type of basketball that they want to play inside out. Meanwhile, Jaleel Bethea comes into the game for the first time this season. Has missed the first 7 games with a foot injury. Nate Oates told us he would see limited minutes tonight. How limited? TBD. Inside, Davidson set back. What an effort by Davion Hannah. And here's the freshman with a basketball. Allen. Oh, that's nifty work by the freshman.
Beautiful. With so much poise, he played that last possession with a tremendous level of pace. Took his time, found the angle, and was able to lay it up.
Oh, this Alabama defense is all over the place. They've created a number of turnovers. And a foul on the drive. Well, the ACC-SEC challenge continues on the women's side with Tennessee facing Stanford. If you haven't seen Tennessee play, you got to tune into that. If you like offense, they're about as offensively inclined as anyone in the country.
Well, Kim Caldwell definitely has her team poised to be really good. Coming off a loss at UCLA, but they play at a frenetic pace, trying to reestablish themselves in top of the SEC.
Tennessee's lost 4 straight in the series against Stanford, trying to flip that. Meanwhile, Clemson 0 for its last 5 from the floor, trailing 18-7 here early in Tuscaloosa. Chase Thompson, and the freshman draws a foul of the shooting variety. He's headed to the line.
A spirited drive by Chase Thompson, taking advantage of Bethea as he's getting his first action. Strong drive to the baseline. Thompson drawing the foul. Big free throw opportunity here for the Tigers as they're trying to get some things going offensively.
Thompson has not played a ton of minutes so far this year for Brad Brownell, though he's certainly capable. It's just a very deep front court. Physically ready to play at this level. In fact, he considered playing quarterback at the Power 4 level until he went off in the summer before his senior year in the AAU circuit.
It's impressive. Definitely a impressive looking freshman. And if he has the football background, you know there'll be a level of physicality that he'll bring to this team, which fits right in with the grit of this Clemson squad.
LeBaron Philon, a hot start, 8 points on 3 for 3 shooting. Probes and kicks, and the hot start continues. London Jemison for 3.
Alabama's done a really good job of being patient, taking good shots within their offensive sets rather than rushing them and shooting against contests.
They have hit all 5 3-point opportunities. Meanwhile, Clemson has hit none, and that has been the difference in the game to this point.
A big difference has also been the offensive rebounding of Clemson. But look at the patience of this set for Alabama. LeBaron Philon probing as he snakes that ball screen, finds London Jemison wide open, knocks down the corner 3 ball. On the defensive end, Alabama struggling as far as boxing out.
Foul off the ball underneath, sent Welling to the floor. He got tangled up with Jemison, and it will be a foul on the Alabama freshman.
It tangled up, coming through on that flex cut. Nate Oates is saying he hooked him.
Well, Nate Oates' team has come out with a sense of urgency tonight, and he is arguing his case here. And it looks like Don Daly might be going to the monitor. So we just received word that this is not officially a coach's challenge, but rather an appeal. And there is
under review.
A difference. Appeal, the officials do not have to go to the monitor, but they can get together and decide to go on their own. A coach's challenge, they must go to the monitor.
And of course, with the coach's challenge, you put a timeout on the line. In this particular situation, they'll get a chance to look at some things to see if the hook that Nate Oates was saying, if something can be reversed.
On the baseline right there, it's Jemison and Welling. You see what Nate Oates is talking about.
I do, and as Welling's coming on that flex cut, he does seem to have grasp along the London Jemison. Both got tangled up, but we'll see if this officiating crew will check this one out on the appeal and sort it out.
By the way, Nate Oates, love that he still rocks the suit. All these guys now wearing the quarter zips, not Nate Oates.
No, he's got a little
sharply
bit of fashion.
dressed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You better come with your A game if you're calling an Alabama game.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely doing so, and the A game is being brought by his team as they've been on fire, shooting from outside, 8 for 9, shooting on the game. But it's not only just been the outside shooting, it's been the pace in which that they've played. They've been able to slow some things down and find the proper shot within the set and moving the ball well around the perimeter, playing off the assist. And when they catch it, they've been able to be locked and loaded and finish these shots. Defensively, Alabama has done an outstanding job when it comes to rotating over, but their blockouts has allowed Clemson to capitalize with 6 offensive rebounds.
Well, now the officiating crew is conferring after reviewing the monitor. After the coach's appeal, and now Byron Jarrett's going to come over to our table. So the coach's appeal will be won by Nate Oates. They're going to remove the defensive foul on London Jemison. It'll be a flagrant one on Carter Welling for the hook. Alabama will get 2 shots because of the flagrant.
After review, the foul was initially called on 6 red, will be taken away. We will have a flagrant foul on 22 white. 2 shots on the ball.
A really good job by Nate Oates and his staff as the officials demonstrating to Carter Welling that there was a hook on the baseline as he initiated that. The correctable error by this officiating crew after the appeal results in Jemison going to the line to shoot.
You just couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Nate Oates, whose team, as we talked about in the open, is battle tested. They have 4 matchups already this year against top 25 teams, and while Clemson isn't ranked, they're certainly a top 30 net program. They're a program that expects to make another deep run in March, and they're a veteran program. Yes, they have all the new faces, but they have 5 players on this roster that have played in the NCAA tournament.
Well, their program starts with the culture has been built by Brad Brownell. They're going to be built off of grit. They're going to play tough, connected team basketball. And when you play that way with the level of physicality on the defensive end, you will always be in the game. They found themselves down early, but look for this team to continue to battle back.
Open 3, Bowen. First miss from distance for Bama, but there is Bethea to clean it up. And his first points in an Alabama uniform.
Jalil Bethea active on the offensive rebounding, a huge stick back to continue this momentum for the Tide.
7-0 Alabama run. Nothing has come easy so far in the first half for Clemson offensively.
Well, it's due to this defensive activity for Alabama as they have been active on the perimeter.
Shooting less than 25%. They're 3 for 14 from the floor. Deep 3. Here comes Zach Foster. Godfrey. Buckner on the drive. Cannot bank it home.
It's been tough for Clemson early on. They've had some quality looks, but the ball just rimming out.
And a rhythm 3. Foster's open, home run pass. Reverse won't go. Welling there to clean it up, and that stops a 12-run Alabama run.
And really good hustle there by Welling to get back into that play after the defensive attempt by Alabama forced the errant shot.
Now Butta Johnson defending Phylon. Brad Brownell told us they would throw multiple bodies at him throughout the night. Jemison a 3. His second of the half.
London Jemison. Locked and loaded. He's really shown a lot of promise as this freshman stepping up in a big role.
Coming off back-to-back double-digit performances and wins over Maryland and UNLV. Welling tries a 3. And Clemson remains 0 from distance. Jemison again.
The heat check. You know, as a young player, that's one that you have to trust the system. You've knocked down a couple of 3 balls. You have to trust that it's going to come back around to you. He was able to knock down 2 threes when his feet were set in a wide open look as R.J. Godfrey with the muscle move down low.
You think they need more of that?
I do, but at the same time, they have to get stops on the defensive end. Clemson's going to have to figure out to turn some defense into offense to get some easy baskets. Every one of their baskets has been earned down low.
Bowen from way downtown.
It's a 3-point barrage for Alabama, and it's coming as it's been distributed all the way around on this roster.
Back inside Godfrey, left it off the front end, but it was fouled. He will get 2 shots when we return, but the threes have been flying for the Tide.
Well, Alabama has done an outstanding job with their ball movement, and the shooters are catching the ball in the shooting pocket, locked and ready to fire. Bo teeing one up for the outside. Bama up early. Alabama has gotten out of the gate with 7 of 11 for shooting from three-point range, and many of these assisted with the extra pass. Phenomenal floor spacing, and many of them wide open looks for the Alabama Crimson Tide as they've been able to take advantage of the defense of the Clemson Tigers. 7 assists feeding into this three-point barrage by Alabama.
Well, they're averaging 13 made threes per game. They're already halfway there, and we've only played 10 minutes so far tonight in Tuscaloosa. But throughout the course of these early weeks of the season, this being the 8th game of the year for Alabama, we have seen this type of offense from the Tide when they've been clicking and moving the ball. 3 times already this year, Richard, they've hit 100 points plus.
Well, many people know that when Alabama's scoring and shooting the ball well, they're very tough to beat. But the question is, what type of shots does it take for them to be effective? We talked to Nate Oates early today, and he said that he really wanted to see his team shoot more shots off of the catch when the ball is moved from side to side. When they get their feet set, as opposed to shooting off the dribble, they are much more effective.
Aiden Sherrill got hammered on his way to the basket. First foul tonight on Jake Wallin.
Really good find coming off that screen roll action, and a heady move by Aiden Sherrill to catch that ball and pump fake and draw the foul.
Well, Aiden Sherrill is a guy that Nate Oates mentioned by name coming out of the win against Maryland. Said he definitely got better during the Players Era tournament in Vegas. Best 3-game stretch of his young career here at Alabama.
Well, I think this kid has a lot of potential. At 6'11", 250 pounds, he's leaned up in the offseason, which has allowed him to be a little bit more agile and more bouncy. It showed already early on with his rim protection, blocking shots and contesting. I think he has a lot of potential. If he can stick with being a little bit more dominant down low in the paint to add to his soft touch, the sky's the limit for him.
Extra pass, Sherrill sent back, and there's a foul.
And see, there's an example right there on the dump off. If you're Aiden Sherrill, you have to be loaded to catch that ball with the mentality to go up top and dunk that one in the paint. And as you go with that level of authority, what will happen is it will soften up the defense, and then the shot blockers will stop challenging.
He has basically been their post presence so far this season. Part of that is injuries. This team depleted a little bit. Mentioned the fact that Aiden Holloway's not playing. Latrell Wrightsell also out. Keaton Bristow out. And the freshman Collins hasn't played really at all this season. 6'11", 270-pound forward. But it hasn't mattered so far tonight. All Bama. Clemson with its largest deficit of the season. Welcome back to the ACC SEC Men's Basketball Challenge in Tuscaloosa. Gonzaga and Kentucky will battle on Friday night. Remember, this is a Gonzaga team that handed Alabama one of its 2 losses earlier this year, taking on a Kentucky team that narrowly lost last night to North Carolina.
That's going to be a big-time game and a very important game. So we got a foul here off the ball. Houston Millett seems to be shaken up.
It's on Chase Thompson, his first, 5th on the team, and they will go back to the monitor here at Coleman Coliseum. We've already seen 1 flagrant called on Clemson tonight. It's been one thing after another for the Tigers. looking here potentially to upgrade this to a flagrant run for a high elbow. Contact to the head and neck area by Chase Thompson. Right now on the floor, it's just a common foul. But they are reviewing for an upgrade.
In Chase Thompson's defense, he seemed to have a really spirited effort to try to fight through the screen, staying connected. We'll have to see if this crew is going to upgrade this one. This is a 50-50 one. I think I could live with it if it remained just a common foul, as his actions seemed to be fighting to get through the screen and got tangled up.
I'm with you. Let's see. Jeb Hartness coming over to the table. So it has been upgraded to an F1 because of the unnecessary and excessive nature of the contact by Chase Thompson, which means 2 more shots for Bama and the basketball.
Yeah, that just surprised me a little bit.
The initial call was common foul on White. 3 has been upgraded to flagrant. 2 shots and the ball.
I mean, this is a tidal wave of momentum going against Clemson right now.
Yeah, that one seems to surprise me a little bit, as it was a solid screen being set, but it seemed to me as Chase Thompson got caught off surprise as Bo Bowen made that V cut as he was coming out to the wing and then came back down the middle of the paint. With Millett going to the line to shoot for 2.
Houston Millett returns from a season-ending knee injury, suffered 6 games into last year, and despite not really playing at all last season, said that last year was his favorite year of college basketball. Of course, spent 3 seasons at Pepperdine, was an all-conference player, but just loved the culture of competition and confidence, which you referenced earlier tonight here at Alabama.
Well, he came in and it was potentially that he was going to redshirt, and he decided he would give up the red shirt and played in the game against on the road at North Carolina in last year's ACC SEC Challenge and made a big impact. And here he is back for another year playing high-level ball.
After the offensive rebound by Sherrell, Jemison is fouled. And that is number 6 on Clemson.
Foul starting to surmount on the Tigers.
And it's going the other way. We have really not seen Justin Porter at all involved in the Clemson offense. He's coming off an MVP performance of the Charleston Classic. Had 18 points in the championship game victory over Georgia. He's taken just 1 shot so far tonight.
Well, the Middle Tennessee transfer can really get things going in a hurry. He's going to have to see if he can help manufacture some offense for Clemson, as a foul's called on Alabama on the reach-in.
First foul on Amari Allen.
Seemed like a lot of ball on the last swipe down by Allen.
Steinauer checking into the game for the first time for Clemson tonight. Butta Johnson, deep 3 won't go. Ace Buckner the rebound. Wanted to pitch it back. Instead, it's Steinauer being rejected at the rim. Amari Allen was in there. He's got the basketball.
Another block for Alabama. They have done a really good job, 5 blocks in this game so far, of contesting with high hands.
Well, when Clemson has had offense tonight, which has been rare, it has been R.J. Godfrey. 4 made shots for Godfrey, the rest of the team with a combined 2. Meanwhile, Clemson continues to shoot above 60%, and now they're getting to the foul line and putting Clemson in foul trouble. Bonus the rest of the way for the Tide.
Godfrey able to find some things on the low post. What they're going to have to do is play from the inside out, as Godfrey's been able to find his offensive rhythm. You got to post up deep, see if you can command a little bit of a double team, get the defense moving around the perimeter, kick it out, and see if you can find a clean look. Clemson still hasn't been able to find the outside shooting touch in three-point land.
Until now, Butta Johnson with a three. He had a couple of big ones in the overtime victory against Georgia last week for Clemson.
That's a big one for the Huntsville, Alabama native. Butta Johnson knocking it down.
Well, Steinauer just got beat to that basketball, and it's won back by Alabama. That is a microcosm of the energy of this game. It has been all tied with the toughness, with the three-point shooting, and it is a tidal wave here in Tuscaloosa. Bama on top 35-19. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Just down the road from us at Coleman Coliseum, Nick Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, home to the 10-2 Alabama Crimson Tide. Look who's in attendance tonight. 7-time national champion head coach Nick Saban with his wife Terry. Of course, 6 of those national championships came here at Alabama. And the Tide this year enjoying a great season both on the hardwood so far and, of course, on the gridiron, like the BYU Cougars. And you know where I'm taking this, Richard.
Where
Hendricks.
are you taking this?
The Cougars, right now, if we had a true bracket, they would be left out of the college football playoff. I'm going to campaign for them for a second. That would be a travesty if an 11-1 Power 4 conference team did not make the CFP.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to agree with you, but I'm telling you, a lot of the people who are here checking out the team in Crimson Is only concerned if one team is in the bracket.
You're absolutely right about that. And they're probably rooting against BYU this weekend, who's playing in the Big 12 championship game against Texas Tech on Saturday.
Well, I think more than anything, they're rooting for Alabama to win in the Southeastern Conference Championship against Georgia. I think a mentality that has to be had for Alabama in basketball and football is you take on the best talent and you want to win it. And there's a win defensively for Alabama.
We talked so much about this Alabama offense, but boy, has their defense been stingy tonight. What stood out to you on that side of the floor?
Well, first you have to look at this is a team that has really good positional size, and they're versatile. They're able to switch ball screens, and they're able to contest with block shots at the rim. When they get in trouble, they hustle and scramble pretty well, and they communicate. So this is a team when they have it rolling defensively and playing connected with the complementary style offensively to defensively, makes them hard. They can make it hard on teams.
Man, and they're crashing the offensive glass. They're creating fouls in areas that Brad Brownell's team traditionally has not given up fouls and rebounds. But they are headed back to the line out of the Tide. Jemison's third trip of the first half to the foul line.
Alabama's had some struggles at the free throw line. As you can see, there's an opportunity to make the switch as London Jemison right there as Philon was beat by Justin Porter, stepped up in recovery and switched that. The versatility of Alabama defensively is giving Clemson some troubles.
Foster, floater with the foul, count it, and he'll get a chance at a three-point play.
A really good job by Foster coming off that screen roll. Sherrell's in drop coverage. He makes sure to keep Millett on the back of his hip, slows down, takes on the contact as he feels that bump, and the nice little teardrop floater going to the foul line for an and-one opportunity.
They love his versatility. Zach Foster, a true freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. True combo guard who can play on or off the ball. Plus a 6'9" wingspan, so they feel like he can guard multiple positions as well.
He definitely has that versatility, and that's exactly why this coaching staff is thrilled about his potential.
Philon had 8 early points. He's been quiet since. Under 6 minutes to play in the opening half here in Alabama. 15-point Tide lead. That one was tipped into the hands of Ace Buckner.
Great hands by Clemson.
Porter relocates. And offensive rebound, fresh 20 inside to Welling. Boy, that shot was errant and forced by great defense of Aiden Sherrell.
Did an outstanding job of holding his ground. Stayed on the ground for the jump pump fakes. This is good defensive positioning. Stays in position through the pump fakes and the pivots and contests high. And this one's headed to Alabama.
Rolled at a jump ball. Possession arrow Tide. Well, if you're just joining us, have hit 7 threes in the first half, and they got Clemson into the bonus about 3 minutes ago, and Bama's headed back to the foul line. 19 fouls on the Tigers.
Well, Alabama's been aggressive offensively, but I've loved the pace and patience that they have played moving the ball around to find a quality shot, and it's been able to catch Clemson off guard, going to the free throw line, drawing the fouls. But Alabama, 6 for 11 shooting, hasn't been able to capitalize at a high clip as Philon will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
Philon, the preseason All-SEC first teamer. Of course, he entered his name in the 2025 NBA draft, went through the combine. It was expected by just about everybody, Richard, that he was going to go. And then on the final day, where players had to make their decision, he calls up Nate Oates and says, "Coach, what would you think if I came back and played another year?" Nate Oates said, "Let's go win one."
Well, I'll tell you, it's the toughest decision to make. when you have to enter the NBA draft and decide if you want to stay in college or go back to the pros, and you don't have a bad choice. A lot of times when you have one decision push you one way or the other, that's a beautiful floater there. It's a hard decision to make, but Fallon has come back in his sophomore year, taking on a little bit more of a leadership role, and he's answered the bell with his beautiful moves.
How about that pass to Bo Bowen? Extra pass, Millette. Counted in the foul. 4-point play opportunity for the grad transfer from Alameda, California.
Well, this play was created with beautiful off-ball movement by Alabama. Fallon gets into the paint. Bo Bowen cuts on the baseline, and then the relocation of Houston Millette into the corner gets him freed up. He lines it up, gets fouled, going to the line to see if he can complete the 4-point play. Bench loving it.
How could you not? The way this team has played basketball, it has been a thing of beauty so far in the first half. 9 assists on 13 made field goals.
Unselfish play, and it was beautiful to see the off-ball movement. Bo Bowen cutting to the basket, had a layup, gave up an easy shot for another open one as Millette repositioned himself in the corner, and he knocks it down. Strong hedge on that ball screen by Williamson.
Buckner at 3, his first points of the night.
That's a big basket there for Clemson. Buckner's getting freed up. They're going to have to figure out how to capitalize on these open looks on the perimeter.
Here's Amari Allen. Fallon picked up by Dylan Hunter. Sizing him up. Fallon fade away off the heel. Godfrey fighting for the rebound, and he last touched it. It'll be Alabama basketball when we come back from Tuscaloosa. All tied early in this ACC-SEC Challenge.
Welcome to the ACC-SEC Challenge.
Crowns aren't given, they're taken. The queens are here. Period.
Give me the crown because I want it all.
This is where legacy begins.
We talk about playing anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Get ready for that Texas fight. Hotty toddy. If you want the crown, come get it. These are my queens of the court.
The third annual ACC-SEC Challenge finishes up tomorrow night with women's hoops. Monster doubleheader, top 25 showdown, South Carolina, Louisville, and then LSU undefeated, 8-0, goes to Cameron Indoor to take on Duke. And tomorrow night, right here in this building, Sean Poppy in his second season as the head coach for Clemson women will take on an undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide. Big opportunity for the Clemson Lady Tigers.
Sean Poppy coming over in his second year at Clemson from Chattanooga. He's done a really good job. They'll take on Christy Curry's squad. She's reloading an undefeated season after trying to replace 3 girls drafted to the WNBA. Should be a really good showdown on the women's side.
That game tips tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPNU. Great backdoor feed. Godfrey finds Foster. And Clemson trying to chip away at this deficit before halftime, 3 minutes and change to go.
Trying to jump into a little bit of pressure. Clemson is going to have to turn up the heat to see if they can generate some offense by way of getting stops on the defensive end.
And Amari Allen whistled for the travel.
And Nate Oates is saying he doesn't believe that was a travel. As Amari Allen came to a jump stop, he lifted his pivot foot and didn't put the last one back down. As that, I believe, is actually not a travel. It may seem a little bit unorthodox, but he actually has the ability to keep that foot off the ground as long as he wants. The time doesn't necessarily matter. That's one of those tricky things that you look at in officiating, and that was a call that I believe was missed.
Now Clemson trying to take advantage, and they are unable to. Sherrill scoops up the pinball.
That's a man's contest right there. You got 2 power forwards coming at it down low. Sherrill wins that matchup.
Clemson has shot just 33% from the floor. They trail by 14. It was as much as 19 in this half. Foster rims out a 3. They are now 2 for 12 from beyond the arc.
Well, Alabama has struggled to get a point in the last 2.5 minutes. They're going to have to see if they can run some longer sets and move the ball around. They've been successful when they share the ball. And there's a good individual effort as LeBaron Philon says, I'll take over myself with a beautiful move.
And maybe that's something Clemson is lacking a little bit this year. They, in recent years under Brad Brownell, have always had that go-to scorer. This year, still figuring out if and who that is on this team.
Well, we talked about so many newcomers on this team, and it does take some time to gel. This team has been strong playing together as a unit, but you do have to have someone to step up in the money time to make clutch shots.
Amari Allen taking all kinds of contact, swatted twice, wins it back. Millette extra pass, Bull Bowen. And rebound won back by Zach Foster of Clemson. What an effort by Amari Allen. And this team was challenged today at shoot-around by Nate Oates, who knew what kind of fight they would get from Brad Brownell's Clemson Tigers. He said, we have got to rebound, and it's got to be all 5 guys on the floor.
And it's led with Amari Allen. He's a guy who's answered the challenge. He's flirting with a double-double here. 9 points and 7 rebounds, 2 assists to go along with it for the freshman.
You mentioned the scoring drop for Alabama. Tigers on a 2-minute one as well, and Sherrill keeps it going. Another swat for the big man. Bounce pass into Sherrill. Philon had it poked away, and won back by Dylan Hunter.
Philon getting a little too loose with it in the corner. He's had such an excellent handle and crafty with the ball. Loses it on a string on the last one as he's communicating to Aiden Sherrill to go up top for the alley-oop. He seems to be a little frustrated on the last possession as he's trying to get back with his team to get on the same page.
His second foul, and it will send Clemson to the line for a 1-and-1. Tide have massively outshot Clemson at the foul line in the first half. They got into the bonus with 8 minutes to go. 9 for 14 from the stripe. Clemson just 5 for 6. Now a couple of substitutions here for Nate Oates. He will get Philon off the floor with those 2 fouls. Well, Dylan Hunter, a starter for the first time in his career at Clemson. Of course, his brother Chase, a star in this program in recent years. But he was always the spark that came off the bench, and he still is that despite being in a starting role now. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. And they are so much better with Dylan Hunter, as the graphic clearly states, than without. They sorely missed him last year after he broke his hand in the ACC quarterfinal win against SMU.
Most definitely a difference maker on this team.
Tie up, Clemson basketball.
See a little bit of the physicality of Clemson coming over, converging on Aiden Sherrill down low to get that tie up. Now that's one right there. If you're Aiden Sherrill, you catching the ball deep up under, you have to step up and meet the pass. As Amari Allen gives you a really good entry pass, you want to meet that pass so you can secure it before the defense gets to you. He's so deep up under the goal, he's in a tough position to do anything with it.
Double team comes on Foster. Open 3. Butter Johnson backs it off.
A little bit of hesitancy by Butter Johnson. Missed the last 3-point. He had one wide open. I think he should have taken that look.
Shot clock turned off to end the half. 5 to go. Foster, deep 2 won't go. Rebound Bama, and that will take us to halftime. 45-30 at the break in Tuscaloosa. Largest deficit of the season for the Tigers. LeBaron Philon, excellent. And Amari Allen, a near double-double in the first half in his first collegiate start, playing in place of the injured Aiden Holloway. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 15-point lead for the number 12 Crimson Tide against Clemson. They were dominant in the first half, and frankly, I'm not sure that the halftime score clearly indicates just how dominant the Tide were. Matt Schumacher, Richard Hendricks with you. Great defensively, great getting to the cup, and the three-point shooting was elite for the Tide.
Well, it's the unselfish play of Alabama in the first half that led to the three-point shooting. They've been able to get wide open looks because of the extra pass and the ball movement. Players all on a string, rotating around, finding the open spots, and then when they get their feet set, they've been able to capitalize. 15-point lead here going into the second half. It's the outside shooting that's been the difference, as well as the outstanding defensive work for Alabama as the three-point barrage has been going big time here in Tuscaloosa.
They shot 50% from the floor. At one point, they were shooting above 80%, hit 8 threes in the opening 20 minutes. We will have the second half from Coleman Coliseum when we return. Clemson trying to chip away and make this a game again in T-Town. Welcome back to the ACC SEC Men's Basketball Challenge inside Coleman Coliseum, where the Tide have dominated the first 20 minutes of this game against the Clemson Tigers team that, despite not returning much production from last year, brings back plenty of NCAA tournament experience, guys coming over from different schools. Meanwhile, Clemson not having to deal with Aiden Holloway tonight, but it hasn't much mattered for the Tide. Holloway out with a wrist injury that was re-aggravated this week in practice. Ultimately decided to hold him out, though we did see him a little bit today at shoot-around. But this Tide team is just so talented, Richard, and so deep. They've gotten great guard play tonight from Amari Allen, the true freshman making his first collegiate start.
Yeah, well, they've done a really good job of playing together. And when this team is able to spread the ball around and get quality shots, they're tough to beat. I think the impressive thing about Alabama today has been the patience in which they played in the half-court set. We know that Nate Oates likes his team to shoot the ball early and often, but they've had a lot of discipline, which has led to the effective shooting.
Good rebound there by Carter Welling, and now here comes Hunter with numbers. Pushes it inside. Wallin with a two-hand jam.
Good job by Wallin recognizing the open spot in the defense. Alabama with a blown coverage gives up an easy dunk. A good sign for Clemson early.
LeBaron Philon, a top 3 scorer in the SEC. Double digits in the first half. Off the mark there. Offensive rebound, Millette. Philon reloads. Alabama started the game by hitting its first 5 three-point shots. Meanwhile, Justin Porter on the board for the first time tonight for Clemson.
This is what Clemson has to do. I thought in the first half they were a little too methodical, only playing in the half-court set. They have to get up and down the court. There they are with 2 easy baskets, and they've already cut into this lead.
Alabama battle-tested this year. 4 games against top 25 opponents, 2 wins against top 10 teams. St. John's in Illinois. That's a strong take by Allen.
And an outstanding presence of mind by Amari Allen. Took a peek up at the shot clock, saw about 3.5 seconds to go, and realized he still had enough time to take it all the way to the basket.
Had almost a double-double in the first half. Porter has back-to-back buckets for a Clemson team that, too, has been battle-tested over the last week and a half of the season. Wins over West Virginia and Georgia at the Charleston Classic during the Thanksgiving holiday. But this, for sure, their toughest test of the young season to this point. A 7-1 Clemson team, top 30 in the net coming into the night. Philon with a tough take. Wanted a foul, won't get it.
Was a tough take, but a lot of time left in this ball game as Clemson's done some really good things to start off the second half. They've clearly made the adjustment. They'll have to continue to see if they can get things going offensively against a stingy Alabama defense.
There was a heavy dose of R.J. Godfrey in the paint in the first half for Clemson. That's where most of their offense came. Welling rejected, and it'll be Alabama basketball.
And it's Aiden Sherrill once again going up high with that rejection on Carter Welling.
He has 5 blocks tonight.
We talk a lot about his activity, but there he is. Great timing and extension for the sophomore. These are the possessions as Alabama looks to see if they can find the soft spot in the defense. Good defensive action by Clemson.
Post feed to Godfrey. He was fouled. And we'll get 2 shots at the foul line. And that is the 3rd foul on LeBaron Philon. And remember, this is an Alabama team that's a little bit thin tonight at the guard position. No Latrell Wrightsell Jr. He's missing his 4th consecutive game. And as we mentioned, coming out of halftime, no Aiden Holloway.
A really good job by R.J. Godfrey using that pump fake as he caught that to get Philon up in the air. That's a situation where Philon has to recognize his importance to the team. You beat in transition. That's when you just let him have the easy 2 and live to play another possession. He's too valuable to be on the bench with his playmaking ability and outside shooting to give up 3 early on in the second.
Be interesting to see how long Nate Oates keeps him on the bench. A lot probably depends on the next handful of minutes.
Well, if I am Clemson, I'm going to pick up the defensive intensity, maybe do a little bit of trapping and some pressure to see if I can create some turnovers and take advantage of a backup from the point guard position.
Davion Hannah off the mark. Ball tied up on the deck. It is a jump ball, and the possession arrow points to Clemson.
Almost like a rugby scrum as they were all battling for that loose ball. There's a big possession here for Alabama to see if they can get a defensive stop. Clemson starting to surge a little bit, playing really good job. Let's see if they can take advantage offensively.
Those were the 50-50 balls that Alabama won a lot of in the first half. They're just joining us. The sense of urgency from the Tide coming out of the gates was really impressive. Had Clemson down as much as 19 in the first half. That's a steal from Millett.
And a great dig down by Houston Millett to come up with that turnover.
And a foul goes the other way on Dylan Hunter. That is number 2 on Hunter.
And you can see Houston Millett taking on that leadership role, saying we have to put together stops.
Well, Amari Allen went to the foul line 3 times in the first half. And this Clemson team now 10 of 15 at the stripe tonight. They got into the bonus with 8 minutes to go in the opening half.
Clemson's in a position where someone's going to have to step up offensively. This is a team that relies on the balance, but you're going to have the balanced offensive attack, but you're going to have one player to put his foot on the gas and try to make something happen.
In the Charleston Classic, that was Justin Porter. He's not on the floor at the moment. And it will be Tide basketball when we come back. Alabama with a 12-point lead on Clemson in the ACC-SEC Men's Basketball Challenge.
We need your help. I need your help. We need money for research. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. And it's very important.
Jimmy V Week continues here at ESPN, where we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. If you are able, give now at v.org/donate. Dylan Hunter's mother, a couple of years ago in 2023, Brandy Lewis, caught breast cancer at stage 0 because of her yearly mammograms. She is a major proponent of regular checkups, early screenings, and saved her life. The mom of Dylan Hunter and, of course, former Clemson star Chase Hunter. He was an inspiration to them during her battle and is now fully overcome the disease.
An inspiration to continue to be an advocate for others.
Meanwhile, back here in Tuscaloosa, the Clemson Tigers have yet to score a basket in the last 3 minutes, and yet they only trail by 12. Tide led by as many as 19 in the first half. Looked like it was going to get away from Clemson, but they kept it just close enough. Wallin up and under, counted in the foul. And a chance to get this back to single digits since early in the first half.
A lot of time left, and Jake Wallin taking advantage with that beautiful pump fake. Ball swung to him in the corner, used that pump fake to get the defender up in the air, and a strong finish going to the line to make this a 9-point game.
And he does, in fact, do that at the stripe. Last time it was less than a 10-point lead for Alabama was with 15:43 to go in the opening half.
Well, you know this Clemson team, Brad Brownell's bunch, is going to be gritty, and they're chipping away.
Here comes Dylan Hunter, 2-on-1. The lob to Foster. Hammer time. And the momentum has swiftly shifted in Coleman Coliseum. All without LeBaron Philon on the floor for Alabama. Went to the bench with 3 fouls, and now Nate Oates is telling him to go to the scorer's table. Godfrey passes up an open 3. Pitch back, Foster from downtown.
And we talk about the freshman Zach Foster with loads of confidence. Got an easy one in transition, and he lines up a deep tray ball, making this a 4-point game, and the momentum has totally shifted to the Tigers.
Just the 3rd made 3 of the game for Clemson, who has shot very well from distance this year, near 35%. Tonight, just 18, but that was a big one from Zach Foster.
Huge, and it allows them after the make that Clemson's going to show a little bit of pressure here to continue to put it on Alabama from the defensive end.
LeBaron Philon back on the floor, Richard. Bama without him on the wrong end of a 10-1 run.
Well, Alabama was effective when they moved the ball around the perimeter. You don't want to get into a hero ball situation to get back into this game. You want to continue to do what created the lead early on as Clemson's off and running.
Watch out. Hunter takes it to the rim, knifing past Philon, and all of a sudden, a 1-possession game in Tuscaloosa.
And you have to question, when is Nate Oates going to use the timeout to see if he can talk about things? Clemson turning defense into offense. Zach Foster going up top for the alley-oop jam. And then they've been able to take advantage of some great defensive work as Dylan Hunter takes it end to end, making this a 2-point ball game. But Philon drawing the foul, going to the line, get a chance to shoot for 2.
Second foul on Jake Wallin. Philon leads all scorers with 15 points. Playing with 3 fouls for a Bama team that is injury depleted tonight. No Aiden Holloway, no Latrell Reitzel Jr., no Keaton Bristow. And yet they lead a very good Clemson team by 2. It was as much as 19 in the first half, but the Tigers have chipped right back into this game.
A really good job right there by Nick Davidson. Slipped out of that side pick and roll action and was able to get freed up in the soft touch over the top.
Sherrell pulls it back out. Here's Allen, first collegiate start tonight. Step back three won't go. Good rebound effort by Houston Millette. And it is won back by Nick Davidson.
Nick Davidson doing some really good things. Hustling for the defensive rebound. So I believe that ball touched off a foul line. And Clemson with an opportunity to tie or take the lead.
They have not led since it was 2-zip to start the game. Foster and Godfrey just juggled it and bounced it off his knee. 7th turnover of the night for Clemson.
And the impressive thing that Clemson has done amidst with the turnovers is that they have continued to stick with their game plan. They know their style of ball that they play. They got down early, but they kept leaning on the defense and chipping away, and here they are. Philon draws another foul with his crafty playmaking ability.
And that is number 3 on Zach Foster. 3rd team foul of the half for the Tigers. Back to the line goes Philon, where he is 4 for 4 tonight. Talked in the first half about him deciding to remove his name from the 2025 NBA draft and return to Alabama. And Nate Oates told us, look, he's an Alabama kid, grew up in Mobile, felt this yearning to come back and lead an Alabama team to a place it's never been before and win a national championship.
Yeah, and such a talented player, a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Alabama on the high school level. So you know he has to have a lot of pride to play for the University of Alabama. But, you know, a tough decision that he had to make. Maybe a little bit easier in the current climate of college athletics. But nonetheless, you can see that he's taken a next step forward in his ability in his sophomore campaign.
Justin Porter back on the floor for Clemson. No good. Tap back won't go, but there was a foul in there on the Tide. And 2 shots coming for Nick Davidson.
A lot of physicality down low. Another contest by Sherrell, but there's the hit on the head. But they going for that offensive rebound. Nick Davidson going to the free throw line.
Matt Schumacher, the former Mr. Alabama basketball, Richard Hendricks with you. What has gotten Clemson back into this game, trailing by as many as 19 at one point?
Well, I think they've kept their composure. And now that the momentum has started to shift back, not just in the scoring category when they're able to make some shots, now it's starting to be the style of game that Clemson wants to play. It's going to turn into a physical style, getting on the offensive rebounding and try to pound it down low. It's a little bit easier to play when you're in this close space.
Narrowly missed by Philon. Chance to tie or take the lead for Clemson. Davidson using his size in the left hand is good. We are tied at 54.
And Clemson going to their identity, going to that high-low action. Godfrey dropping it off to Davidson, able to finish down low. But this is where LeBaron Philon for Alabama is going to have to trust his teammates. He's checked back into the game and tried to take over. We have a tie ball game. Alabama's got to play together and connect it. But on the other side, it's been Clemson getting out in transition, getting some easy basket. Zach Foster going up top. We got a tie game in Tuscaloosa.
has been a tale of two halves for the Clemson Tigers, who trailed by as many as 19 in the first half. It's now a tie game at 54, Richard Hendricks.
Well, this is the grit of Clemson. This team is built, and it's the identity they have, and there they are with these powerful buckets down low in the paint. They've been communicating well on the defensive end and picked up the pressure, and they've got back in this ball game.
Clemson shot 29% in the first half. They are shooting nearly 70% in the second half. They went on a 10-1 run with LeBaron Philon on the bench for Alabama with 3 fouls. Tide playing without Aiden Holloway and without Latrell Reitzel Jr., so down a couple of bodies at the guard position. But now less than 12 minutes to go in this ACC-SEC meeting between two traditional powers in their respective conferences. Bo Bowen takes it to the cup. That's the first field goal for the Tide in the last 6 minutes.
That's what Alabama's going to need. Brad Brownell came out with the part of the chess match with his response. Nate Oates, after the timeout, able to dial up a bucket for the Tide.
3 of Alabama's 4 made buckets in the second half have come at the rim. Meanwhile, Nick Davidson, a strong take for the Tigers.
It's a physical player as Davidson initiated the contact, taking in there strong, able to finish soft off the glass.
Philon baseline kick out. Bo Bowen with less than 10 to shoot. Gives it up to Allen. 5 to go. Allen step through, floats it in. That was great body control by the 6'8" freshman from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Well, he muscled his way in there. It's Clemson with a really good defensive effort on the switch, but able to finish. And that right there is R.J. Godfrey just carving out real estate right in the paint, going over his left shoulder for the easy deuce.
14 points, 5 of 7 shooting. Philon rattles a 3. First of the second half for the Tide.
That 3 seems to get the people back into the building as Nate Oates is trying to get his team fired up.
A game-high 21 for LeBaron Philon, who's had to wear the Teflon a little bit more tonight with some of those injuries to the Alabama backcourt.
Philon catching that with a lot of confidence, lining that one up. A big shot for Alabama to see a couple of them go in. 3 for 3 on their last 3 shots.
Wallin off the screen. 10 to shoot for Clemson. A kick ball on Bo Bowen. And now Carter Welling will check in for the Tigers, sending Godfrey to the bench. Quad 1 opportunity tonight for both teams. And as we learned last year, particularly with regards to the ACC, which only got 3 teams into the NCAA tournament, the ACC-SEC Challenge was a big deal come March. It was a challenge that the SEC dominated, Richard, 14-2 last year. ACC has flipped the script early, leading 6-3 after last night.
Well, the SEC handled their business last year in the non-conference. This year, not so much. They've lost a lot of signature matchups, which has made the ACC-SEC Challenge much more significant. Both of these teams need a big signature win in this challenge right now. So with a little over 10 minutes to go in the ball game, you'll have to see who's going to bear down to get this one and give their respective conference the edge.
The officials are conferring about something after Don Daly went over to the scorers table. We have yet to receive word about what they are potentially reviewing, if anything. Meanwhile, over on ESPN, Arkansas with a 12-point lead against Louisville in the ACC-SEC Challenge. And now we will hear from Jeb Hartness. Stand by. So Jeb Hartness just came over to our table and confirmed that there is a coach's appeal by Brad Brownell. He argued that R.J. Godfrey was hit above the shoulders in a way that would warrant a flagrant one, and so now the officials are going over to the monitor. This is the second coach's appeal tonight. First one by Nate Oates was one, and a common foul was upgraded to a flagrant one.
Absolutely right, and it was the same situation where Houston Millette was hitting the head or neck area as he was being able to fight off the screen. Chase Thompson had a foul that was upgraded, so the Clemson side will get a chance to look at one of these appeals to see if the potential common foul is upgraded.
Here's a look at it. Godfrey grabbing his face, but I didn't see anything on the replay that would have indicated what made him go to the face.
Yeah, not so clear as his officiating crew will look to sort something out, but Brad Brownell and his staff clearly must have seen something from their angle from the coach's bench.
Well, we have learned that the appeal was successful. This is going to be upgraded to an F1, and it was Amari Allen who got the eye of Godfrey. So Godfrey will come off the bench to shoot 2 foul shots. It'll be Clemson basketball at the point of interruption, so they'll get it side out of bounds. And here's Don
After
Daly.
review, we had an unobserved flagrant foul committed on Alabama number 5. Clemson will shoot 2, and we'll replace the ball at the out-of-bounds point of interruption.
So the reach-in occurred on the previous action before Hunter had the ball before he checked out on the side.
Yes.
So this was several moments before. It's a tough break for Alabama, as that seemed to me as they were reaching in just to try to make an attempt to steal the ball. Cart R.J. Godfrey.
And what an observation by the Clemson bench.
Yes.
On the other hand. Right there, got his right eye. And now Godfrey trying to complete the 2 foul shots he does. And he will go back to the bench.
That's a credit to the Clemson staff to be on it, to take advantage of the rule to appeal the situation. And a successful appeal by Brad Brownell results in 2 points and the ball for the Tigers.
Yeah, now Godfrey was going to go to the bench. He'll stay in for this side out of bounds from Justin Porter. Godfrey was 16 to lead all Tigers scores. Under 10 to play in Tuscaloosa. 1-point game for the Tide. Hunter floater is good. First lead for Clemson since it was 2-zip to start the game.
Well, the Tigers have clawed their way back into it. A beautiful shot, capitalizing after the appeal, knocking down 2 free throws and a bucket.
Phylon. Oh, what a circus shot for the sophomore from Mobile. And one opportunity.
Well, LeParin Phylon taking matters into his own hands with a high-level shot on the turnaround. As you can see, such a crafty guard, taking advantage of the screen roll action and snaking it, turning up over the top of Justin Porter, the hoop and the horn.
He has 12 of Alabama's 19 second-half points, and he's up to 24 on the night.
Phylon has definitely been the answer in the second half, but Alabama's going to have to find some point production elsewhere because the Clemson Tigers are definitely on a surge.
Davidson backing down Bo Bowen, and the left-handed shot put goes down.
And that's just a weight room move right there by number 11 in white, Nick Davidson. He took Bo Bowen right down up under the goal and put him in the basket.
Catch and shoot. Millette no good. Offensive rebound, Allen. Back out, Bo Bowen. And Davidson secures the board. Here comes Hunter running the break. 3-on-2 for now. Inside feed to Wallin with a two-hand jam.
Alabama seems to be out of sorts, getting back in defensive transition all second half. And Wallin sneaks behind the defense once again.
Clemson trailed by as many as 19 in the first half, by far their largest deficit of the season. And that's a foul on the floor against the Tigers.
Great recognition by Dylan Hunter. Dropped that one off to Wallin, who was able to get into the dunker spot in transition. It's that early offense, getting out, running your lane, and getting in position, and it's resulted in Wallin getting an easy basket for the Tigers.
Meanwhile, 5 team fouls apiece now. Wallin will go to the bench. That last foul on Justin Porter. He heads to the bench as well with a pair. Ace Buckner checks back in for Clemson, as does Butta Johnson, the UAB transfer. Phylon the kick. Jemison at 3.
That's a huge shot for Alabama, which has been the recipe in the first half. Get a piece of the paint and kick the ball out and knock it out. They're going to need to knock down some outside shots to get some breathing room.
Under 10 to shoot. Shot clock did not reset after the block. Johnson off the bounce.
This is a moment where Aiden Sherrill is going to have to be big for Alabama in the paint on both ends of the court.
Allen stripped. Buckner wins it back. Kick out Millett 3. Tide regain. Oh, okay. Coming up next, we'll send you to number 17 Vandy and SMU on the SEC Network beginning at 9:15 Eastern as the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge rolls on. And of course tomorrow, the women cap off the challenge with Pitt and Mississippi State, followed by Cal and Missouri. Tonight in this ACC-SEC Men's Challenge, Houston Millett has hit a couple of threes. LeBaron Philon with 24 points to lead all scorers has been the difference in the second half for Alabama, as Clemson went on a 10-1 run with Philon on the bench with 3 fouls. Since he's come back, Bama is +1. They lead by 4 with under 8 minutes to go. But a Johnson floater draws a foul on Aiden Sherrill.
Butta Johnson able to take advantage right there as Philon takes a bad route on the defensive turn there, but Clemson going back to the free throw line to chip away.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Well, if you get that app, you'll never miss moments like what Clemson has had over the last week. A couple of double-digit comeback victories in the Charleston Classic. Beat West Virginia by 3, then took Georgia to overtime in the championship game. Handled business against the Bulldogs. Won their 3rd straight regular season tournament championship. Their 2 biggest wins of the season so far. They've won 4 in a row since their loss to Georgetown. And tonight they trailed by as many as 19 in the first half. Brad Brownell's team has fought and scraped and clawed back into this game in Tuscaloosa. They trail by 2 with 7:15 to go.
Well, that is the identity of this Clemson Tiger program, is that they're not going to quit. They're going to continue to be scrappy and fight and play a physical brand of basketball.
Sherrill, the offensive rebound. Philon probing. Great feed inside Sherrill, and he draws the foul on Godfrey.
And that's that next level that Aiden Sherrill has to take his game. Here you are in a 2-point ball game with 6 minutes 54 seconds to go. LeBaron Philon has done the work and dropped you off a dime. You did a great decision of using your shot fake to get R.J. Godfrey up in the air. That's where you have to muscle through that one and get the and one, a critical basket, as he struggled from the free throw line in this game.
Sherrill with just 3 points tonight. Coming off a week out in Vegas at the Players Era tournament in which he was special. Maybe the best 3-game stretch in his young career at Alabama, according to Nate Oates. Averaged 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's been exceptional defensively tonight with a handful of blocks for the Tide.
Well, he's going to have to be big time in the money time for Alabama. They're going to need some interior presence, as Clemson has come out shooting 70% in the second half. They flipped the script from what they did early on.
Dylan Hunter, floater, rims down.
Alabama's sitting back in that drop coverage, and Clemson has done a tremendous job of recognizing that, pulling up for those floaters in the mid-range. They'll take those all day.
Jamison with a strong take.
Well, that's an impressive move by the freshman, London Jamison. Use that jab to create a little bit of space, puts it on the deck, and the extension with the left-hand finish.
Zach Foster off the bounce and the hammer. Whoa! Get up, young fella. Crowd silencer, and Philon misses the 3. Here comes Dylan Hunter. Kick out. Butta Johnson sips it into Davidson. Right hand won't go. Tapped around, secured by Sherrill.
This is where Alabama needs to be patient on the half-court set.
Crossover, Allen hangs and puts it down.
Or you can just cross your man up in transition and take him all the way to the basket. Great recognition by Amari Allen, getting downhill for the easy deuce.
There was a whistle in there somewhere. Foul underneath off the ball goes against Alabama. What a dunk by Zach Foster.
Turned the corner with authority as he gets it on that handoff and comes downhill, takes flight. And that's what I'm talking about when you attack the rim. You have a shot blocker in Aiden Sherrill who's blocked several shots tonight and changed even more. But here, when Foster's getting a full head of steam, you look the big guy in his eye and you take flight, and that makes him hesitant to try to attack on the shot block, and you get the easy dunk.
First foul of the night on London Jamison sends Davidson to the line for a 1-and-1. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way.
The physicality of Clemson is starting to pay off. Nick Davidson with a duck in on London Jamison, drawing the foul off the ball with his activity.
All 11 of Davidson's points have come in the second half. He has been instrumental to this team. Meanwhile, there was a foul called.
It was Taylor Bobo and stepped on the lane violation as he's pleading with the official that he was pushed. And now Amari Allen taking the switch with him, getting the low man position. You have to be physical on these blockouts as Clemson's coming on every single free throw situation.
And now a foul is called, and it goes against Carter Welling.
And that's outstanding recognition right there by the freshman Amari Allen. He realized Taylor Bowen had a struggling situation on the box out on the previous possession. He makes the switch, and he takes it onto his own hands. The bigger Carter Whelan over the back and a drawn foul.
You know what the kids call that, right?
What do they call it?
Ball don't lie.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It never has, and it never will.
Amari Allen goes to the line now for Alabama. He is 3 for 4 tonight from the stripe and is 1 rebound away from a double-double in his first career start, playing in place of the injured Aiden Holloway.
It's so impressive, but that last blockout situation might be the most impressive move. It showed the level of leadership by this freshman to get on the bottom box out a bigger, stronger player, draw that foul, and then step up and hit 2 free throws to extend the lead. That might have been the play of the game for Alabama if they're able to hold on.
Hunter kick out, quick 3, Foster off the mark. Wallin rebound, draws a foul.
Jake Wallin, activity all night long, particularly in the second half. He got things going for Clemson with some easy transition buckets. He's been fighting all night long, and there he is. His extra effort and energy results in an offensive rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, all 7 of his points have come in the second half. He and Davidson have been a revelation for the Tigers since halftime. And it's a Tigers offense that was stagnant at best over the first 20 minutes. They shot less than 30% from the floor. They've completely flipped the script in a second frame. And it is back to a 1-possession game. 4:35 to play in Tuscaloosa. Phylon coast to coast. No, off the front end. And Millette the rebound. Bobo on a 3. Bang!
That was a huge basket for Alabama, and it was created with the extra effort by Houston Millette, keeping that ball alive. Taylor Bowen stroking one to make it a 6-point lead for the Tide.
Wallin splits. Foster corrals. Johnson a 3. Got it from the corner.
Big shot for Butter Johnson, the Huntsville, Alabama native. Played for the legendary coach Jack Doss in Huntsville, Alabama.
Phylon no-look pass. Rebound Wallin. Here comes Butter Johnson pushing the pace. Wallin off the bounce. Cannot finish. And last touch by the Tide. Now everybody in the arena wants this to be reviewed. Nate Oates telling his team to get back to the bench. And they will review it during the break. 81-78 Alabama. 3:30 to play in this all-important ACC-SEC Challenge. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. During our last time out, Nate Oates issued a coach's challenge, and it was successful. Initially called on the floor, Clemson ball, but clearly shown in this replay. It was 22 and white, Carter Welling last touching it for Clemson. So Nate Oates will keep the timeout and have one more coach's challenge to use down the stretch in a game that Alabama leads 81-78. Matt Schumacher, the former All-SEC big man, Richard Hendricks. This has been a tale of two halves. The Tide led by as many as 19 in the first half. Largest deficit of the season for Clemson. The Tigers, Richard, have clawed back into this, down one possession.
Well, this game has definitely turned, and the style has turned to what Clemson wants down the stretch, which is going to be a physical brand. This last 3 minutes and 30 seconds is going to have to be won in the paint. The last possession, you see the physicality of Clemson and Carter Welling, who's fighting for deep position, and they were not able to capitalize. But Alabama's going to have to bow up in the paint to pull some clutch rebounds, because this is where will be where the game is won.
By the way, you can catch the start of our next game in this ACC-SEC Men's Challenge on the app. Virginia and Texas will get you out there on ESPNU at the conclusion of this one. Wallin with a head of steam. Step through, floats, and a foul is called. And if that's on Philon, that's number 4. Indeed it is.
It was a tough situation to be on, as LeBaron Philon's looking over at the bench saying, leave me on the court. But it was the quick shot by Alabama that resulted in the run out. Great agility there by Wallin, sidestepping over to the left to avoid the charge.
And if you're Nate Oates, you got to keep him on the floor.
Well, he's have to learn to play without fouling. And this is a situation that, coming out of that timeout, Alabama has to execute much better. Houston Mallette shot an early, ill-advised three-pointer. You have to understand the tone of the game. This is a game where Clemson has fought back. You don't want to give them any gifts to get easy baskets late.
Clemson went on a 10-1 run in the second half with Philon on the bench when he picked up his 3rd foul. He'll stay on with 4, and there's a foul on Foster, and that's number 4 on the freshman from Atlanta.
Foster's done a lot of really good work today. Here he is getting a little too handsy. It slaps in from the backside on Amari Allen. It's a good call by that official and a great camera angle on the baseline.
So Allen will go to the line. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. 2:56 to play. Multiple timeouts for both teams. Missed, and what a rebound by Dylan Hunter.
Came in from the guard position over the top.
Good two-man game. Godfrey, count it, and the foul.
Great action by Clemson. Came down with a sense of purpose. The ball going from the left side and the right, and then drops it off R.J. Godfrey. I don't think too much contact on that foul there by Aiden Sherrill, but when you go up strong, you get rewarded. And R.J. Godfrey back to the free throw line for the old-fashioned three-point play, trying to extend the lead for Clemson.
10th team foul of the half on Bama. Bonus plus the rest of the way for Clemson, who right now is on an 8-0 run over the last minute and 20.
Alabama's got to move the ball around. You don't want to get into an isolation situation where the defense can watch you, but we're going to watch LeBaron Philon go to work with a beautiful individual effort taking over. You see LeBaron Philon loaded up, all of the defense and offense on one side of the court, takes it right there into the chest, takes a little bit of a bump.
He is closing in on a new season high. Has 27 tonight on 8 of 16 shooting. He is perfect from the line, 8 for 8, and he will go to the bench. For how long? Maybe this is a defense-offense substitution the rest of the way for Nate Oates.
A little bit of offense to defense. And Davion Hannah's got to step in and accept the challenge.
1-point lead for Bama. Johnson inside. Godfrey left it short. Foul is called on the back end of the miss. And it goes against Amari Allen, his third. And Godfrey will go to the line for 2 shots.
Good job by R.J. Godfrey, readjusting that shot as he was able to get hacked on the arm there by Amari Allen. But Alabama's given up dribble penetration on these ball screen actions into the paint too easily. They've been in drop coverage coming off the screen downhill. And that's allowing Clemson to dictate what they want to do as R.J. Godfrey misses the first.
For the first time tonight. He was previously 7 for 7 from the line, a young man that has stepped up his performance since being challenged by Brad Brownell after this team's lone loss to Georgetown. During their 4-game win streak, he's averaged nearly 14 points and 7 rebounds per game.
He's been outstanding tonight.
Missed them both, and it remains a 1-point game.
Free throws will be critical down the stretch.
Defending Phylon. Nobody can keep him in front tonight. Ties a career high with 29.
With just enough energy on that teardrop to drop down. Alabama with the adjustment, switching on the pick and roll with Sherrell.
Foster wanted a ball screen, won't get it. Less than 10 to shoot. Rejected at the rim. Put back no good. Last touch by Alabama. So it'll stay here, but with only 3.3 seconds on the shot clock for the Tigers because none of those shots hit the rim.
Excellent job by Alabama defensively. They communicated well on the switch on the pick and roll. Aiden Sherrell was on the perimeter, but on the help side, Taylor Bobo and switch with the small and rotates over and it results in the block shot. Excellent execution by Alabama defensively.
Well, now Don Daly is calling an official's timeout here. Nope, Clemson called timeout. Brad Brownell knows how important these next 3 seconds are. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Clemson down 3 with 96 seconds to go. Amari Allen has been fantastic tonight. His first career start and a double-double in place of the injured Aiden Holloway. Bama with a 3-point lead despite injury depletion. This out of the Clemson timeout. 3 seconds to shoot. Butta Johnson at 3. And a rebound secured by Aiden Sherrell.
Huge rebound. You want to get the ball. Phylon stepping in offense to defense. But Alabama needs to grind it out. Good defensive work by Dillon. Good switching.
Allen taking it himself and muscles it in. 20 points for the freshman. Back the other way. Foster left it off the back end. Numbers for Alabama if they want it. Foster shaking up behind the play. Gotta get a stop here if you're Clemson. And a timeout taken by Nate Oates. Tied on a 7-0 run in response to Clemson's 8-0 run.
That's one, if you're Zach Foster, you wish you had back. He's been hitting some timely buckets all night long. That's one with his athleticism. You want to go ahead and go up strong and dunk that one. Make this a 3-point ball game, but nonetheless, it's Alabama with the chance to see if they can draw something up on the 22nd shot clock. This right here is just a man's move by the freshman. Amari Allen has been playing big all night long. Takes a smaller defender down to the low post. And Foster with a full head of steam. That's one you got to go ahead and turn over and dunk. He'll learn as he continues to grow, but an outstanding game for the freshman. He stepped up big in some big moments, but a lot of time left, 55.1 seconds to go. As you can see, Alabama trying to talk about what they're going to do on the defensive end.
It'll be Bama basketball coming out of the timeout. 20 seconds to create some sort of offensive opportunity. How are you playing these next 20 seconds on the shot clock if you're the Tide?
Well, I would want to have the long offensive set. But you also, the fouls have been in your favor. You've been able to get the ball to Amari Allen. He's made some good decisions, drawing fouls, getting easy buckets with his size advantage. So you want to get the ball either, obviously, with Philon or Allen to see if they can create. At the least, you want to draw a foul because Clemson is going to be pressuring into you. This point of the game, in order to win games, it gets done with big rebounds in the paint. It's been a physical game in the second half, and this is where you know you have to be a little bit more assertive on your blockouts to make sure that you can secure the ball.
Big game for both teams tonight. Quad one opportunity for each. Bama already with 2 top 10 wins this season, trying to close another one out on the road against a Clemson team that has fought all night long despite trailing by 19. It's now just a 5-point game. Philon, jump pass to Allen, 5 to shoot. Allen in the paint. Over the top of Godfrey, won't go. And the rebound by the Georgia transfer.
Clemson came out showing a little bit of zone to confuse Alabama.
Clemson using a lot of time here on this possession. Hunter driving, blocked by Sherrill. Godfrey, no whistle. And now a whistle is blown, and it's a foul on Clemson.
It's Aiden Sherrill with that verticality. Outstanding contest against a strong R.J. Godfrey. As you see, the rejection up top, and then here he is walling up, going big, forcing Godfrey to go backwards. And a huge possession there for Alabama on the defensive end by right there, number 22, Red.
Brad Brownell a little bit frustrated with his veteran forward, R.J. Godfrey, who's had such an excellent night. His argument to his senior was to go up a little bit stronger with that ball. Godfrey thought he was fouled. He was not, and instead a chance for Alabama to ice this at the foul line.
He definitely has the skill set. Such a talented player. To me, who's shown a little bit more of his game. He's been effective using his shot fake in those moments, and that was the position where he should have used the shot fake to put Aiden Sherrill up into the air, draw the foul, get the and one, and go back to the free throw line. He had a phenomenal game, but came up a little short on that last big possession.
Aiden Sherrill with a make. Can make this a 3-possession game. At one point, Clemson led in this half. After trailing by as many as 19, he missed. 6-point game, and there's a whistle. And now Dylan Hunter, a little bit shaken up after the rebound, will get 2 shots for the Tigers.
And an interesting decision to see is that Alabama not really electing to have many people in to go for the offensive rebound.
All right, Dylan Hunter's come up with a couple of monster rebounds on missed free throws for Clemson down the stretch. And now he'll have a chance to make this a 4-point game.
As Amari Allen made a swim move to go baseline. Not a lot of contact on that with his feet were taken out from under him, but nonetheless, a big opportunity for Dylan Hunter. 18.6 seconds to go in this one. Still a lot of time. If you're Clemson, you want to make sure you knock down these 2 free throws and jump into some full court pressure to see if you can create a turnover.
They've missed their last 3 at the foul line. A pair by R.J. Godfrey, who hadn't missed yet tonight, and now that one by Dylan Hunter.
You have to question if he was a little bit shaken up after hitting the deck on that last foul.
Clemson does have one timeout left. Both teams in a double bonus. 18.6 seconds left here in Tuscaloosa. 5-point lead for Alabama. Boy, a lot of time came off there. Almost 2 full seconds before the foul on Millett.
And honestly, I think if I'm Clemson, they had enough time to try to tie that one up. Alabama did not seem to want to beat that press breaker collectively. Only 2 players up. You had a chance with 2 players around Houston Millett to grab the ball and get a jump ball situation, but a foul going to the free throw line. Houston Millett, a really good free throw shooter for the Tide.
Millett 15 for 15 at the line this year. His first miss.
Well, I guess the announcer jinx is clearly in effect.
You don't believe in that stuff as a former player. Come on.
I can't shoot him anyways. You can jinx me or not. So maybe I'll just be quiet for his sake.
Matt Schumacher, Richard Hendricks with you. Final 16.7 here in Tuscaloosa. Bama trying to close out this ACC-SEC Challenge tilt with Clemson. Wallin needs a player to come back and get it. It's Foster. Down 6.
Good switch by Alabama.
Foster rejected by Sherrill. What else is new tonight? And the Tide will escape with another signature win in Tuscaloosa.
It's a big-time performance for Alabama to close this one out against a really strong and gritty Clemson team. Aiden Sherrill with a huge block, 8 of them in this game. A phenomenal finish for the big man down low, and that guy, Amari Allen. Really good action for Alabama and a big win in the ACC-SEC Challenge.
Bama led by 19 in the first half. Clemson stormed back to take the lead in the second half, but the Tide, shorthanded, get it done at home. For Richard Hendricks, our entire crew, Matt Schumacher, good night from Coleman Coliseum.